Hmm. It looks like I have a few followers. Thank you everyone for participating. Now for a song that's near and dear to my heart. I love to play this one. It's lots of fun. Lots of fun to ad-lib on. so on forever. Song of Storms. Hopefully it doesn't rain today now. Zelda medley. I guess. There we go. Thank you. So that was, yeah, I've been putting in eye drops because if you remember from last time, we skipped the stream on Wednesday because I was in recovery in the dark, playing on the piano, which was lots of fun to do all day. It'll be nice to be able to be it'll be nice to be able to practice regularly again. Yeah, no more glasses, just eye drops constantly for the next 6 months. So I'll be stopping regularly to put fake tears in my eyes. So because of that recovery, I'm a little bit behind where I want to be, but still in a really good place. So today we're going to be looking at pop create. On Monday I was looking at it with Derek, and we wanted to refactor pop create so that it would work with the Python cookie cutter template stuff. And turns out it's way easier to do cookie cutter than to do what I was trying to do, which was manually parse every single file and replace with different strings. Like using the Jinja templating that comes with cookie cutter and generating a context for each subparser that I want to use. Like, I thought it was going to be way complicated that I have to pour over the cookie cutter docs, and it's like, no, I could just examine the Python code for the module, and it was pretty clear what to do. It was actually I had an easier time reading the source code than I did reading the docs, because the docs for cookie cutter were pretty exhaustive. They covered absolutely everything you could possibly ever want to do with cookie cutter. And I didn't want to know that, so I just looked through the main function and saw what the bottom line was that I needed to run and started there. So, without further ado, let's look at pop create now that it's a cookie cutter project. Full screen. Tests are passing, and I'm writing some new tests, but we can get back to that in a minute. So, one of the things I want to change is this red squiggly line, because I'm using cookie cutter, some of my there's Jinja in some of these Python files, and so pre-commit doesn't like it, and Blacken doesn't like it, and so I get my red squiggly lines all over the place. So the way this works, let's just look at it from the top down. Oop, not that one. So I have my init file. This is a lot simpler too until I started doing copy tree stuff. Let's see. So nothing's changed here. I'm finding out what my sub parser is, but then poof, this is what I got from the cookie cutter project. I'm calling this import is coming from cookiecutter.generate generate files. And this is what I was talking about. Like, finding this function wasn't something I was able to find by reading the cookie cutter docs. It's something I found by poking around at the cookie cutter module. So I'm just calling that function directly, so I'm not doing any of the nonsense that cookie cutter does with parsing a config file or reading CLI options. I don't care about any of that. So I can just say, hey, generate the files in this target directory. Here's the context, and it's based on something that I got from pub.opt. Here's my output directory, which is going to be a temporary directory. More on that in a second. And because it's a temporary directory, I'm going to assert overriding the files if they exist. And I'm not going to skip files if they exist. So that's what's going on now. That's what's new in this run.py. So then after that run function is called, where does it happen? It happens right here with a temporary directory. The reason why I'm doing it in a temporary directory is if I want to run multiple subparsers at once, like is the default, if you don't specify a subparser, then pop create runs with all of the core subparsers. Cookie cutter will get in the way of itself, and you'll have to give the overwrite flag. And you might not want to overwrite everything. You might just want to create everything that you're missing in your pop project and not risk overwriting stuff. So that's why I felt the need to do it in a temporary directory. And then I'm doing a showtil.copy tree with my own copy function that skips files if they already exist. And this is the default now. So one of the benefits I've gained from cookie cutter and from doing all of this new method is that if you run pop create in the bottom of a a project that already has code in it, then you don't risk overwriting any files when you run pop create by default. If you give the overwrite flag or the overwrite existing flag, then pop create will, if it's trying to write a file that already exists, it's just going to write over it. So that's fun. It'll also do a little file compare just because I don't want to give a warning saying that I'm overwriting a file if the file and the source and the file and the destination are exactly the same. That happens a lot too. So that's what's going on now. We now have a bunch of the tests are exhaustive now. They test just about everything. I was just writing up a test for the copy for my 2 versions of copy tree, and that's it. So let's look at these cookie cutters because this is pretty awesome. So each subparser now, I have these 4 subparsers as the core project. They all have a cookie cutter dir and init.py, and all that's in the init.py is a function that tweaks the context for that specific subparser. Such as right here in the docs, we want to create a welcome string. I can do that here without expecting you to pass it on the command line. Or the seed, where I want to create a dyn dict for the target conf.py, I can do that with this. Yeah. I was just thinking about this file. I'm just gonna leave it alone. So the other type of directory you'll see in here is a hooks directory, and this is a cookie cutter thing. You have your pre-gen project and your post-gen project. Your pre-gen project, like I'm doing with pop seed, is a cookie cutter for one will replace all Jinja templating that has cookie cutter or cookie cutter dot in the name of the attribute you want to replace with Jinja. So the first thing we're doing in this pre-gen project is I'm making a namespace dictionary because I like namespacing my dictionaries out of the core cookie cutter config. And then I'm just getting, with the pre-gen project, the current working directory, the directory at this point, the current working directory at this point has been changed to the root of my target project. So I'm saying, okay, get me the root directory of this project as a pathlib object, get me my context, and let's make sure that my lines exist. And then in my post, I'm saying, by the way, if we were a vertical project, then delete the scripts.py and the run.py and the init.py. And there's no fear of deleting someone's stuff that already exists because I'm doing this in a temporary directory. And if someone does pop create with the vertical merge flag on an existing project, all these removes, unlinks, remove directories won't harm their existing project because this is basically just tweaking my temporary directory where I'm setting up all the templating and then I'm copying the files over after I do this. So this doesn't run any risk of deleting anyone's code. That's another reason for using copy tree the way I did instead of cookie cutters method. Anyway, so those are what the hooks are. And I imagine I'm going to be using these hooks pretty heavily in pop create item when we're auto-generating exec modules, the post-gen project, because the way cookie cutter works is it copies everything, the whole directory structure inside of the cookie cutter root dir folder. And it replaces this with the root directory name of my project. like right here, I can also have file names with cookie cutter variables inside of them. Like right here, I have cookiecutter.versionnumber.rest as the name of this file. That's pretty cool. Or cookiecutter clean name.rest. And then in here, I can have a REST file, a REST document where I have, again, there's a Jinja templating. So I can say cookiecutter.project name, pipe that into the title function. So the first letter of every word is capitalized, and I can have this little snippet of Python code in Jinja that makes sure that I have a bunch of equal signs the same length as my title. So this is pretty cool, and I think this is way more intuitive than what I was doing before. Someone can come in and edit this, extend it way easily. It's very clear where code you edit ends up in the final project. I'm very pleased with working with Cookie Cutter. Very excited about it too. So that's what Cookie Cutter does. Any questions about Cookie Cutter? From these files? So all these red squigglies from this, like, well, let me just run a Cookie Cutter on my test project real quick. My taco project. So here, I'll prove to you that I just did that. So delete every file in there. I'm running my pop seed or my pop create. And I go over here. Let's see, this is my cookie cutter, cookie cutter rootster, tests, integration, cookie cutter clean name, testinit.py. So in the project it actually ended up creating, it's here in tests, integration, project name, testinit.py. See, so over here, syntax error. Over here, not a problem at all. So I don't know how to make this squiggly. I don't know how to make it play nicely with blacken or with pre-commit. So that's something I want to figure out today too, because otherwise my pre-commit hooks will always fail. And I want people to be able to run pre-commit on this project. So on the cookie cutter. So I don't know. That's something I really struggled with, was I either need pre-commit and black to ignore my cookie cutter root ders, or I need it to understand that this is a Jinja template. And I tried to tell PyCharm that this was a template directory, and actually that seems to have worked. Maybe I try that for this. Mark directory as template. Get rid of all my red squigglies. I get rid of any red squigglies. I did it for that one. Maybe I have to close out of PyCharm and go back in. Close out of PyCharm. Go back in. Yeah, so any questions or comments on the cookie cutter method now of doing things? Oh, good. Oh, never mind. It still wants all my red squigglies. So that's pop crate with cookie cutter. Something else I had to do to get this to work. One, I have to tell my setup.py this manifest.in is for the setup.py. Actually, I think it's something that the setup.py just automatically does. So the setup.py, or this manifest.in is picked up automatically by setup.py, and all I'm telling it is when my project is bundled, include my template directories, every single file under cookiecutter.project name, because normally those wouldn't be included in PyPy. So this manifest is pretty important for that. Another important one was, let me see. Actually, I think it was in setup.py that I had to do something else fun. Yeah, over here, my discover packages. I had to tell it to ignore the cookie cutter root dir, because otherwise it it would try to split when it did this mod name. It would try to split this, then it would say what didn't exist, and ugh. I just needed when setup.py, when it's discovering modules, I need it to ignore everything in the cookie cutter directories. So that's what's happening right here. So that's all the cookie cutter nonsense I had to deal with. And other than that, it was super buttery smooth. So it's like, here's the root dir of your new project, which over here is taco. Then your directory structure is exactly what it's going to end up being in the target. So I really, really like this cookie cutter stuff. And it ended up working really well with pop. Yeah. I think with this, I'm going to release this today as after I finish writing the tests and after I figure out the pre-commit stuff, which we'll do right here on stream, I guess. We'll release Cookie Cutter 2.0, and then we'll do the same thing over in Pop. We'll implement it in Pop Create Idem. So, any questions, comments, arguments, or rebuttals? Welcome. Happy to indulge those questions. Whew. I'm gonna drop these in my eyes. I can see now that that's not very clear. I'm not crying, it's artificial tears. I could be crying because this is so beautiful. Let me finish writing up those two tests real quick. Ooh. Get a good look at these tests. I don't want these files to be the same. I need a flush. Um. Yeah, because this file has this in it, and this file has this in it. I wonder what would happen if we said list exist file dot read text. What does this tell me? Assertion error skipped. Okay. And my source file. Assertion error skipped. Why is it writing that one too? my source file why did my source file have the text skipped written to it? That doesn't make sense. Source exist file dot write text. I've written to it. None of these backwards. That would be silliness. Let's try it. Okay. Good thing I shouldn't be guessing check. That's bad. That's bad. So why is my source exist file having the same contents as the destination? That's not right. Print source exist file dot read. Okay. Oh, got it. Source door just there. I figured it out. Wow, that took much longer than it should. But we're good. We've now verified that the file is not the file that was skipped is indeed skipped. And now let's test that our overwrite copy tree is overwriting. Oh, I have the same too. Skip. Create up high. Let me see. How do I handle that over here? Hmm. Oh no, this one's failing. Oh. Ugh. I don't need all of these compares. Hmm. Hello to the stream. Nice to have people watching and participating from YouTube and from Twitch today. It's awesome. Glad to see that the Restream IO is working. Um, I don't need the. Yeah. There's actual contents overwritten. Kushner skipped. My overwrite function is skipping, not overwriting. That's not good. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I'm randomly guessing. Hmm. My source file, the contents overwritten. My destination file starts out saying that it's skipped. And I want to say, hey, the actual final destination ended up being overwritten. Am I missing something? I don't need to flush, do I? Check. This write text. Does it flush the file after writing? Yeah, it does. All I was doing was giving a warning for each file I was overwriting. That's all this function is doing. If it's not working, then it will leave the thing working. Oh, now it doesn't even. It means I don't need the function. Which means I now have to test it manually. Test. Oh, I am doing an overwrite. Good. Boom. So if I change something in here, doing an overwrite. Okay. So there it's working. And I don't have to rewrite any code. I don't need to write any code that doesn't already exist. And I can call this one just copy tree. Because I only have one copy tree. Test.create, run the tests for everything. So many tests. Nice. Okay. Tests are passing. Let's add that real quick. Add, commit, tests are passing. Nice. So let's get pre-commit working real quick. And that'll probably mean some tweaking of this commit file. And I want to get rid of these red squiggly lines from my cookie cutter directories. It's not a huge priority. And then we'll do this. Then we'll apply a cookie cutter templating to pop create item, and we'll be good to go. And we'll get back to auto-generating exec modules from OpenAPI 3 specs. We got pretty far with last time. But it'll be even easier with cookie cutter. I'm excited about. Allow me a moment to check messages. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves in the chat. I'm back. Let's look at this. I tried, because look, this security one, it is doing an exclude on the tests directory. Um, but when I tried to do that for black, it didn't work. Let's try. Um, hmm. Yeah, at my first job as a sysadmin, uh, my boss would have told me that he hated it when people made a commit. Like he said, never make a commit that only changes formatting. Uh, nice. Black has a description of how to migrate your code style without ruining Git blame. That's really cool. Because that was one of the biggest complaints he had about fixing formatting in other people's files. Hmm. That was really cool to see that. Um, mm, ooh, that works. Okay, so let's try that out. Exclude anything that starts with cookie cutter dot root. Nope, it is still complaining. Slash. But it looks like it's a regular expression. Maybe these curly brackets are causing issues. Nope, apparently not. Um, pre-commit exclude. How does this pre-commit exclude work? Because that looks like what we're gonna have to do. Hmm. Let's see if we can get exclude to exclude pop create. Wait, that's pretty. That work. I'm gonna try something that Wayne does in his stream. Desktop audio is back. I can say east. Oh,
Hello.
nice. And now I can say um
Hello. No. Fail.
Aww. Now we have a nice little. Oh, hello, Eric. Since you're late to the party, let me show you what you missed. Pop Create 2.0 is underway with cookie cutter templates. So all of these subders use Jinja templating for the names of the directories for everything underneath them. You might be interested in this docs one, which I can have names of files like this version number.rest be based on Jinja templating. I can have the number of lines underneath the template be based on Jinja templating. The directory structure mirrors exactly what's going to be created in the target directory. So that's what we have. It's way intuitive, way easier to follow. With Cookie Cutter, there's 3 things that we have to take into account. One, everything under this Cookie Cutter rootster is what gets copied to the target directory. Next, we have the init.py, which is where we generate custom context variables. Context variables are put underneath cookie cutter dot. So rootster is a context variable that I've created here. So init.py is a custom context for this specific subparser. So you can customize it as you please. Next, for cookie cutter, there is a pre-gen project and a post-gen project. So the pre-gen project is run before your templating starts. It also has Jinja replacements from cookie cutter. So at the top, I just say, give me a namespace dictionary of all of the cookie cutter options, because for me, that's easier to work with than trying to do a ton of Jinja templating in here that pre-commit and Blacken are going to hate. So I use that to make sure some directories exist. And over here, in my post, if my project is a vertically merged project, then I remove some files that weren't necessary. And I'm doing all of this in a temporary directory, so that there's no risk of when I'm doing things like deleting files, if this was a vertical merge, there's no risk of actually deleting files that someone wanted there, because it's all happening in a temporary directory and then copied from the temporary directory to the target directory. And the default is, if the file already exists, to skip it. Do not overwrite it unless explicitly told to overwrite. So that's the changes. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but and there's Yeah, a lot to unpack there, but that's the sum of what has changed. Okay. So now I am trying to get pre-commit because the cookie cutter directories have some Jinja replacements in them, such as this, which ends up looking fine in the final product as we witness in this example. Here's the template, here's what's created. What's created is fine. This doesn't pass a pre-commit, and so I need my pre-commit config.yaml to skip my template directories. Because otherwise my pre-commits will never pass. And when anyone makes a PR, their pre-commit hooks will never pass unless we tell it to skip these template directories. That, or I need to somehow make black and pre-commit recognize that this is Python and Jinja and be okay with that. That would be ideal, but I think it might be easier just to skip them. My pre-commit, which I thought would be really easy to do by saying, hey, exclude this directory. But that's not working like I wanted it to.
Fail.
Oh.
Fail.
Does this pattern not work the same way I'm expecting it to?
Fail.
Yeah, I don't understand how this exclude pattern works, because it's obviously not working the way I'm expecting it to. Like here's another thing that has an exclude pattern that looks like it's skipping the tests directory. I'm not a master at this pre-commit stuff, so I'm happy to have any guidance here. Can we skip? Can we skip everything?
Fail.
We cannot.
Fail.
Ugh.
Fail.
There's one here that hooray. What about something like? Yeah, the directory I want to skip is anything underneath a cookie cutter, anything underneath a file directory named this. Let's see. I'll just copy in exactly what you said here. But I'm happy to just get
Fail.
skipping anything to work. Because to be skipping anything properly.
Fail.
After rerun pre-commit install.
Fail.
I just wanted to skip everything at first, just to say it doesn't look like any excludes are happening. Oh, it's also this reorder imports. Oh, is it black that's passing? Is it actually working? And I'm just looking at the wrong thing? Recommit, run.
Fail. Horror speak. Horror.
Nice.
Horror.
Yeah, it looks like black is actually working. I just need to exclude from more things. So if I say skip everything, no, I want to skip everything under pop create because these hooks, these post-gen hooks also have syntax errors. But then what am I even, is there even any purpose to having black then at all? Because then the only file I'm blackening is this one in the conf.py. Actually, I'm pretty sure I could probably just skip the cookie cutter directory. Because salt uses dunders that are added after the fact, and those don't break, so this should pass black, right? I don't know. Let's try skipping just the cookie cutter dir.
Fail.
No, that did not work. Looking at the wrong error outputs. That's
Fail. Fail. Horror.
hmm. Maybe this works. 27 files unchanged.
Horror.
Let's see if I change it one character if it fails.
Fail.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess this does work. I'm just not matching by the beginning of the file. I wonder if I even need these parentheses or if those are redundant.
Fail.
They are not redundant. Cool.
Horror.
Alright, let's run all these hooks now and see which ones need this special treatment.
Fail.
Reorder imports.
Fail.
Okay, now this time it failed. Which one failed? Lester Bandit? What's Bandit? Name of my dog way back in the day. Ooh, can I exclude multiple patterns? Uh,
fail, fail,
Oh yeah, this is gonna have to skip even more because it isn't like any of the Jinja. This is gonna have to skip. Let's see. How do I skip multiple theirs? Uh,
fail,
hmm. It's already skipping tests, so why is it having issue with pop create? Unless my thing didn't work right here. Ooh, thank you for that link. Let's see. Look at this. Ah, thank you for that. Oh, there, multiple excludes.
fail,
Hmm.
fail,
This is still inside of the tests directory though. Oh no, this is checking Python ASP. Ugh. Again, I got nabbed by I was checking the output of the wrong thing.
hooray,
Yay! So is this working? When it was this?
hooray,
I didn't like it as much.
hooray, hooray, hooray,
Yeah, people just need to run pre-commit against their templates. So we can actually do that for them too, actually. Cookie Cutter does break these checks, which means we don't have fancy checks on these. But maybe we can say when you're adding CI/CD, we can say, here, check this out. You can also have a hook that is a shell file. You don't need, you can have postgenproject.py or postgenproject.shell. So I could also say run git init and run a pre-commit, like run pre-commit from the very beginning. That's a possibility here too. Let's just do it for fun. Because then people don't need to run pre-commit against their template that gets generated right away. We can do it. Let's see. There's some hooks. Add some hooks to CI/CD. Yeah. Now add those. New file. Post gen project shell. Um. Hook script failed. Might be a missing file or a missing shebang. Cool. Bang dash in batch. Echo 1. Nice. So this is being run, obviously. Will it bork it if they don't have pre-commit installed or available via path? We can account for that as well. We could say git. Let's do some research here just to make sure that we make this super awesome. Let's move this, move to bottom, then right. Both. Bash. Check if command exists. I'm sure git init. I can say only if it doesn't already exist. I know. I got it. Got it. Watch this. I can say git init. Remember, my current working directory is the beginning of the project at this point. Git init or echo boom. Now that'll pass no matter what. Whereas if I don't do that or statement, it could fail. No. Initialized empty git repository. Oh, but it's doing it in my temporary directory. It's not doing it in the target directory. Wait, are hidden files not getting copied? Copy. Oh. That must be doing weird things in this taco folder too. No? Because all of these files already exist, but then my hooks, those are fine. Graphs, heads. There's gotta be something in here that's having an issue with it. Huh. I don't know. We'll just do this, and then we'll say pre-commit run -v. Nice. Now when you want run pop create, it will get started right away. And it would fail if pre-commit wasn't installed, but I can say or pre-commit is not installed. Nice. I wonder if H-G in it or Git in it. I'm wondering if we can say if there's a variable default version control. I don't know. Oh, I missed that. No file to check. Hmm. Good call. And this is running in a temporary directory, so it won't already have Git. So I'm running pre-commit, and in the end, they will need to do this on their own project. The Git init is just so that you can just so that we can run pre-commit right away. How about we just do for a sanity check, echo isn't working directory. Okay, it's doing it in the temporary directory where it did pop create. This is in the post-gen project, so everything exists. Oh, but it's only doing it after CI/CD. I would want to do it after everything. But this is the one that's creating the pre-commit config.yaml. Okay. One more thing. CI/CD means go last. Now I know that the rest of these files will exist at the time it does. Files? What if I say tree? I mean, no files to check. These are all the files in my current directory. But that's actually really nice to have in there. Ah, I know. There we go. 5 files reformatted. There we go. I did need to do the get add. Nice. That is one hefty output, though. And then in your final directory, did it do a git init? It's still running pre-commit. Yeah, it looks like it does copy the git init. Oof. Yeah, I need to not copy the git stuff. And I need to say if these commands don't exist, ignore them. Yeah, I don't know about all what poetry does and what we're going to accomplish with it. So I appreciate more details there. Okay. And that's over here. We're doing CI/CD last. Also, I got rid of, for your information, Derek, I got rid of all of the different copies of pre-commit config.yaml in seed and in this. There's only one pre-commit config.yaml. That's the one in here. There should be one authoritative place for it, and it seems to be part of CI/CD, so left it in there. Hey, now we're only doing this if the command exists. And my copy tree, I do not want to copy the .get folder. Over here. Where do I add that? Ah, I know. There. This is happening in the temporary directory, so it's okay. And now, in my taco folder, if I get rid of git, I run this with all of my fancy pre-commits. Oh, and it looks like it's keeping the environment for it, even though I've blown away most of the stuff. And it finished, but it did not create a .get folder. It still expects you to do that. But we are running pre-commit right away. which kind of makes me want to save this tree for after the tree happens. I can create a whole bunch of files. Let's end on a tree. Yeah. Nice. So this concludes the updates to Pop Create version 2.0. Are there any questions, comments, arguments, or rebuttals about the existence of Pop Create version 2.0? Does anyone have any reason why this should not be released on PyPy right now? Pre-commit is not installed. I only want to do pre-commit if it exists. One more. Just I love it. We're starting off with a pre-commit. Then when you open up your brand new project, you're like, whoa, I've got tons of stuff. I've got tests. I've got requirements specific to each version of Python I could be using. You've got the makings of some docs, so it's clear where you need to put your documentation. With a makefile, all of this is appropriate for your specific project name, all popified. I like it. Okay. So that pre-commit installed is not an issue. And then we're blowing away the .git folder, which is where it installs that pre-commit. So nice. At this point, we know the git command exists. We don't need those orders. Actually, I do need those orders. This one I want to fail. If you get this far... No, I don't want it to fail. Because in the end, I want to blow away this .git folder no matter what. So I don't want any of these to fail. Sure. I mean, I don't need the pre-commit install. Oh. I don't know the output that I failed. I just need to put something on the other side of this OR so that the script doesn't quit. If I don't have this, then my script will quit, and I want to make sure that it gets to this rm-rf. Oh, I do need the pre-commit install. Okay. Oh. And we can just echo nothing. We can just echo status code. Right. The echo message isn't really important at all. Its only purpose is to make sure that the script doesn't quit before I remove my directory. And with that, let's put this all up. See, we added some exclude statements. Different docs. We added this file. Reordering of some imports. Oh, I didn't finish writing out that statement. All right, take it for a test drive. Let me push all this up because I haven't pushed it yet. Did I push the upstream master? Yeah. You know, let's just release it right now. And I can always release a dot version if it didn't work, if there's something wrong with it. Pop release, pop create 2. Why are my tests failing now? I guess I'm not going to be releasing. Ah, why are all these PyCache directories being created? I don't want them. Noxious? Is this the same thing? Stopping generation because post-gen script did not exit successfully. Tests, cookie cutter tests. And let me know what you get from pulling from master and running. Test doesn't have a post-gen hook. Wait, hold on. I'm in the wrong place. Pop create, test. I was looking in the right place. Oh, it probably had an issue with this. But if I undid this, it would pass. Oh. Oh, The reason it's taking so long now is that it's got to, when it's doing that test all, it's doing a pre-commit config.yaml. Which is going to make all of my tests fail because now it's creating a whole bunch more files than it was before. Yeah, I've got to test. Why? Why these PyCache files? I don't want them. How do I stop the creation of PyCache files? Gotta be some environment variable. You can run with Python. You can Python with -b or set Python write bytecode equal. Okay. Doing OS. Okay. When I created this taco project, when I did tests, didn't create a lot of, didn't create all those directories for me there, did it? So why is it doing it when I create files from here? I don't know. The stream's got to end at 4 though, so. Hmm. Yes, if extra stuff is being created, you can use postgen to remove excess. That is true. And that might be helpful with the docs. So the idea with cookie cutter is you create everything with a cookie cutter template and then use the postgen to remove anything that was excess. That is the idea with cookie cutter. String expected. Got it. Nice. Yeah, this is gonna fail now because it didn't account for me running recommit. So I'm gonna have to modify this so that it's actually passing, but it looks like everything is working better than it was. It looks like, let's see. I hope with this one, the only thing that's the issue is that it says actual PyCache. No, it is still creating the PyCache directories. Why? I said don't. I thought that's what setting this environment variable would do. Why does it only do it for tests? Why does it not do it for any of the other ones? I've got to imagine that it's because of this touch thing that I'm doing. Yeah, I'm gonna end in 5 minutes. Fixing up these tests will probably be something I'll do later tonight. No, it's still creating those even when I set the environment variable globally. Oh, it's creating even more of them. Hmm. Well, the creation of that bytecode is an issue. And I shouldn't try to accept these directories should be empty. Yeah, see when it runs tests, oh, there it still is creating that. Oh, frustrating. I also don't want this to create. I didn't want to save that. Okay. Test CLI. Now, hook script failed. Yeah, I need to figure out this whole. But we're gonna end the stream there for today. I'll get the tests. I pushed what I have to master. The tests aren't currently passing because of the post-run script that is now changing what output we should expect from everything. So I'll work on that. I'll be back on Monday, and Monday we'll get started again with the AutoGen exec modules from OpenAPI 3 specs. Till then, have a very good weekend, and yeah, I'll see you on Monday. I'll leave the comments open for just another minute. If anyone else has